Top of the morning to you, which is rather an odd thing to say because it's actually evening as I'm filming this. Anyway, hey ho, I'm sure it's morning somewhere in the world. So I'm back with another stupendously underwhelming episode of the Williams Brothers 1/32nd scale Wedell-Williams racer. I'll show you what I've got up to with that. I made myself a nice stiff drink of tea to keep me awake and excited. Apologies for the gratuitous product placement. I'm still waiting on that lucrative endorsement deal. So come on, Airfix. I'm not getting any younger. Alrighty, let's commence with the madness, shall we? I've got a bit of wing stuff to show you today and some landing gear tidbits, maybe even a smidgen of engine paraphernalia. So let's crack on with that, shall we? But first, a word from our sponsor. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. As we can see, the trailing edges on this thing are pretty darn thick, so that needs to be dealt with. Now, the only issue with that is that the wing roots are actually shaped for that thickness, so I'm going to have to thin that down a little bit too, but that's not too difficult. Just use some files and sandpaper on that. The problem with these is normally I would thin them from the inside, but with the Williams Brothers kit, the wings are completely flat inside. So if I was to thin down the trailing edge, my wing wouldn't go together properly. I'd have a big gap at the trailing edge. So what I'm going to have to do is thin them from the outside. Now, it's not a huge issue because the wing is completely smooth, being plywood and fabric covered on the real thing. The only issue is, of course, the aileron's got fabric detail. But since this needs to be modified by cutting that at a straight line for number 44, I'm going to have to reskin them anyway because that's going to leave a very thick trailing edge once I cut that. And once I thin that down, of course, all that rib detail will be gone. But that's okay. It's fairly easy to reinstate, as I shall show you. So the first thing I'm going to do is to remove those ailerons and, yeah, start thinning the trailing edge on this. I guess, well, I need to put them together first, don't I? Yeah, I'll glue them together and then thin the trailing edges. Alrighty, so I'm just going to mark out where I need to cut that aileron down. It's basically a straight line right from that inner edge there, right out to the outer edge. So I'm just going to score that in, and then I will remove the ailerons. Get it. And the same on the other side. Ooh, get out of there. Kind of hard to pick up when they're solid like this. And again, we'll just score it a few times so I know where to cut off afterwards. I'm going to cut that bit off after the ailerons are glued together. And that way they'll both be the same. Okay, so let's remove the ailerons. And the reason I'm doing this before I assemble the wings is that I want to bevel that inner edge on both halves of the wing so that my aileron will then fit into it once I finish them off and reassemble them all later on. So, I'm going to remove these by, again, scoring. The aileron hinge lines are a little indistinct anyway, at least for this scale. They might work in a smaller scale, but in 32nd scale, I really think you need some better relief in there, especially. So that's another reason I'm removing them. But I just like it. I just think it looks better with the ailerons or all the control surfaces displaced a little bit. Just gives a little more life to it, shall we say. And so after I'd scored that very lightly 5 or 6 times all the way around, I then took my trusty razor saw and I just cut through these 2 end lines. And now, in theory, I can just sort of snap that off. Thusly. There we go. Got my aileron bits cut out, done the same for the other side. So what I need to do now is, let's get get that in focus. There we go. So I need to bevel this edge on both sides, and as I say, then my ailerons will then fit into. I need to extend the leading edge slightly to do that and round that off, and that'll fit in much like the real control surface does. It's actually inset into the wing. And then I need to reskin them or reintroduce that fabric surface. Alrighty, I've got my beveled edges there for the aileron to fit into. And to do that, I just use, where the hell is it? There, ye old file. And a bit of scraping with a hobby knife, finished off with a sanding stick. So I can get this wing glued together. That's good to go now. And I can also carry on with redoing the ailerons, which I have glued together. And as you can see, cutting off that edge nice and straight has left the trailing edge rather thick. I think you scaled that up, that would be about 6 inches thick. So we need to do something with that, which I will do anon. Both wings are glued together, and boy, those are solid chunks of plastic, I have to say. So I am now going to attempt to thin the trailing edges, and you'll see that on this one, I've drawn a line about midway down the length of the wing. The reason being is I can't just thin this trailing edge, otherwise I'm going to end up with a bit of a hump right there. So I've got to thin it starting from that line all the way back to the trailing edge, which is not going to be fun. So I'm not fooling around here. I'm going to use a sanding drum on my Dremel. This is a fine drum, but even at that, you got to be kind of careful, especially right at the trailing edge when they start to get thinner. At least I hope they will start to get thinner at some point. Anyway, let's give this a go and see what happens. Just keep the speed down. I don't want to melt the plastic, and just take it nice and slow. Even using this modern technology, I think this is going to take quite some time. So I'll carry on with this, and I'll come back to you when I have hopefully made some progress. Well, it's about 5 minutes work with that fine grit sanding drum, and already this wing trailing edge is starting to look quite a bit better than that one, although it is difficult to show here, unfortunately. The white plastic definitely doesn't help. Take my word for it, it's looking better. I'm not going to get them as sharp as I would like, mainly because the bottom on the edge is a bit of a roundy curve there as well. In order to get rid of that, I would have to sand the entire bottom of the wing, and I'm not prepared to do that. Anyway, from here on in, I will probably switch to sandpaper, used wet as usual. I'm going to hit it with a coat of primer as well. That'll show me the low spots. I don't normally use primer, but in this case, I think it will be quite helpful. So I'm going to carry on with that and try and get these trailing edges as good as I can. Alrighty, that is a fair amount of wet sanding using the old hard foam rubber sanding block and some 240 grit sandpaper. I've given it one coat of primer, as you can see, and there are quite a few low spots and gouges, inevitably, that I will need to deal with. Obviously, I need to spend a fair amount of time on this to get them as close to perfection as I can, because with a glossy, fairly polished finish, any imperfections are going to show up like the proverbial sore thumb. So, I suspect these wings are probably going to take me more time to deal with than any other single component of this entire build. Nonetheless, I'm doing my best, and as you can see, if you look at that inner section of the, let me get some focus on that if I can. Yeah, a little bit. If you look at that intersection where the aileron fits in compared to the one that I haven't done yet, it's looking quite a bit better. I'll leave the wings for now because, as I say, they will take the lion's share of the work, and you know how painful that can be, especially for the lion. So we'll come back to them. There's still plenty more to be done there to fix those wings up. In the meantime, I painted the engine cylinders. There they are there, resplendent in their dashing coat of flat black. And I did the crankcase, but unfortunately, when I came to look at this the next day, the paint looked kind of shitty. So that's going to need another coat before I can assemble the engine. I was hoping to have that done by this video, but it will have to wait, I'm afraid. Hey-ho, these things happen. Put that over there. So, what else have I done? Oh, I've done a fair whack of work of the old landing gear, which I will show you now. All the landing gear parts have been clipped off the sprue and cleaned up as best I can. The wheel halves have been glued together. Now, the fit of the landing gear leg to the spat, as I call them, because my dad, being the good Englishman that he was, called them spats, but many people call them wheel pants, whichever you prefer. Anyway, the fit, as you can see, is not very good. And the reason is that this part right here is much thicker than this corresponding part that it fits over. So I'll just have to file that a little bit, and hopefully I'll get that to fit quite a bit better. The other problem with these is, as you can see, there is a pin on the inside of the wheel spats that fits into a hole in the wheels. That means you've got to assemble and paint the wheels and then glue the wheel spats around them and then try and mask the wheels off while you finish off the painting and all that, which is kind of a bitch. But there is a very easy way around that, as I've done with these ones. I cut off the pins and used some evergreen H-column, this stuff here. Just cut short lengths of that, glued it in where the pins were, and that means that I can now use a short length of plastic rod as an axle and drop my wheel in after everything has been finished and painted and assembled to my satisfaction. Much better. Me likey. It's good. Of course, I could have used some C shapes there, I suppose, some channel sections, but I don't have any, so I didn't. The circular cover to access the wheels is just represented on the kit by a very, very fine line. It's so faint you can barely see it. So I'm going to use a circle template and just scribe in a better one, I hope. Let's see how this works. Have I mentioned how much I like scribing? I don't. There we go. Doesn't really show up in the video, but that looks a little better. I can live with that. This elaborate contraption is merely holding the landing gear legs at the right angle, and to make sure I got them the same on both sides, I just glued them to the inner wheel spat halves first, rather than assembling the spats and then gluing the landing gear legs to them. That way I could tape them flat to the work surface like this, and cram a bunch of wood underneath and put some heavyish objects on top to hold everything in place while the glue sets. The completed landing gear legs. That was the best fit I could get out of them, but definitely better than they were, and a little bit of filler will sort that out. Nope, easy on that unauthorized Jimmy Durante impersonation. And as you can imagine, if I had had to put the wheels in at this stage, cleaning up those openings and making them look a lot better than that would have been kind of a bitch, so it's much easier to put the wheels in later. Cha-ching. That's all I have for this exciting episode. I was hoping I'd have a little more completed by now, but I just don't. Anyway, I think once I get past those pesky wings, the rest of it should go fairly quickly. At least I hope so. And then we'll get to the really fun part, the painting. That should be interesting. So stay tuned for that. We'll get to it as soon as we can. So that's going to do it for this episode, this week, this day, whatever. Thanks so much for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like and share and jump up and down and eat some spaghetti. Don't spill any. Check out my Patreon page, which is a work in progress. I'm adding more to that. Have a look at that. Do consider becoming a member. There are some videos on there that you won't find on here, some outtakes and some other interesting tidbits. At least I like to think they are. What else? The store, the shop, whatever you want to call it. Check that out. Have a look at the products, the merchandise, not merch, merchandise. Thank you. I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.